Hey everybody, um, it's me, Brittany. For those that don't know me, for those that do, how you doing? To tell you that this takes a lot of courage to do this is an understatement, um, and I'm not really sure where to start other than just to start at the beginning. What I want to do with this is it's probably going to be a new video, so I'm going to try to keep them short. Probably a new video at least once a week, depending on scheduling, time frames, etc. Uh, just trying to put myself out there to maybe help other people who haven't had somebody to talk to, who are hurting, people that might need a good laugh, people that might need to just hear that somebody else makes some pretty serious mistakes in life, and that no matter what happens, things can change. Things will get better. Things grow into possibilities that you didn't even know were coming. I want to start off by saying that there's going to be a lot of things that, for those that know me and have known me pretty much my whole life, you probably won't be ready for what you hear. There's going to be a lot of heartache through a lot of this. I vaguely remember being on a missioness trip back when I was 13, and again, we'll get into that as the time frame goes on, who touched me in a way spiritually because she had gone through a lot of things and she had the courage to tell her story. And this is what I would like to do. I want to tell you my story. And of course, this is from my perspective. You know, everybody has a difference of opinions and views and things like that. But this is just the way I've always seen it. This has been my state of mind, my continuous doubts that have followed me, and it's been over the last month that I finally figured out that I just need to do it. That I don't need to be ashamed anymore of who I am and where I've come from. Because yes, there are plenty of people who have had it much worse than I have. People that grew up in foster homes, people who have been homeless, people who don't know what step to take due to family ties, decisions, being shunned from their church, being shunned from the people that they thought they knew, who they thought loved them. It's a lot. And I'm going to apologize now. I am outside because this was the quietest place I could do this right now. I mean, it's a forewarning. What I'd like to see happen later on down the road is maybe just a weekly discussion. You know, opening up to what's going on in the world or what's going on in somebody's life who might need prayer, who might just need some uplifting words, and just to tell them that somebody loves them and mean it and care. And that would be my goal. I can tell you now that I don't have any doctorate, any bachelor's, any intellectual ascensions. I'm just a high school graduate. I've been raised around politics my whole life, so I'm kind of in the middle with that. Like, I know what I believe. I know what I look up. I know where my faith tells me to stand. And in the long and short of it, I'm not here to have debates. I'm not here to go on a rant. I'm not here to be a scapegoat. I'm here to just say, hey, look, I may have been there. I may not have been there. But if you need a safe space, I'm here. If you need an ear to listen, I'm here. If you need somebody to find something out for you, I'll do it. And in the end, that's what people need. You know, a boxer goes in with a team. And that's how we should all look at it. We're a team. We're the human race. We are people who just need support. So, trying to keep these videos a little shorter for the beginning because they're pretty uneventful. I say that knowing what I'm getting ready to tell you, but as one would say, most superhero stories, their origin background, what made them do what they did, or respond to the call of action the way they do. It's a pretty exciting adventure, one that I heard more often than I want to count, and I became ashamed of it. Because if you look at me, you see bad teeth, you see somebody who's overweight, who probably doesn't take care of themselves, who probably didn't do a whole lot of anything with their life, and for the most part, here and there, that's right. But this origin story is not one to be taken lightly because children every day are diagnosed with this. And I don't know the statistics specifically. I probably should have done a lot more research before I decided to do this, but here it is. So, to start off, my name is Brittany Hall. I am a September baby, 1988 to be specific. I'm not really worried about somebody taking my identity because I already have a lot of bad going for me. The only thing you can do at this point is go forward. A little, dry humor. 6 months after I was born, I was diagnosed with cancer. Ooh, the C word. What? To be specific, it was acute lymphoblastic leukemia. And for those who don't know what that is, it is a disease that attacks your lymph nodes and your blood cells and your white blood count to counteract what's going on in your body. And so at 6 months old, my aunt distinctly remembers exactly what happened. She was staying with my grandmother on the same property they'd been on for forever, that I'd been on for forever up until recently. And my dad come running across the backyard carrying me, and I'm white as a piece of cotton. I can't hold my head up, I can't do anything. I'm literally lifeless, just about. And the doctors initially were like, oh, well, it's a potassium deficiency, but just please go have her tested. And so the next day, they went and did more thorough diagnostics, and of course, it came back with cancer. Now, again, this one's going to be a short video because the first 5 years of my life I don't remember. I just have to go based off stories. I have to go based off of what others have told me or people that were around me at the time. My church family, people that were at the hospital that have supported me my whole life, who know my family, who know more about me than I do at that point. And some of the funnier parts about that were I was allowed to have a lot of protein. So I would get 2 pounds of bacon delivered on a plate up to my room at like a year and a half. Like, what? I don't know that I could eat a whole pound and a half of bacon now. 2 pounds of bacon now. But I was given privileges as a child who had cancer perks. And being a parent now, I don't know that I could handle hearing that. That was one of the first few questions I had was, is it transferable? Because if so, we need to talk. And I applaud anybody who's had to go through that. You know, usually when you hear cancer, you hear death sentence. When you hear terminal, when you hear chemotherapy, radiation, the whole nine, you don't expect a lot. And so every time that my grandmother met someone or was talking to someone or anybody who would give her 5 minutes in church who may not have heard the story, there it was. When you're pushing 18 years old, you don't want to hear that story anymore. But I made it. Dr. Bood was my oncologist, and I had to receive super high amounts of chemo. Like, almost double to triple what an amount should have been. Just to try to push it through my system to try to be better. My aunt explained to me that I was about 3 when they wanted to put me in remission. And I started getting better. I had hair. I was living. I was healthy. I was able to, at that point, after the year-long waiting period, they gave me the okay to start school. And so at 5 years old, starting K-5 at Northwood Academy, is this bright, bubbly, blonde, yes, blonde, girl who had nothing else to fear in the world. Because who can say that they lived at that time? Because it wasn't a lot. I lost friends along the way, and there are people every day that lose their child. And I'm one of those that my heart hurts reading some of those stories or hearing some of those things, because cancer's so bad. It's so bad. Doctors, of course, give you your warnings. You know, we don't know what the chemotherapy and the radiation will do. I'm a baby. I'm the age that I work with my children now, between 2 and 3. They don't know how I'll grow up. I know that when I look at myself in the mirror, I see scars on my neck. I have scars on my stomach from tubes and different testing needles and just things that I don't remember, but that give me a small reminder that I was special enough to be included in God's plan long term. And I'm grateful for it now. I'm happy that I'm able to understand where people come from. Honestly, I would love to be able to go into the children's hospital and be a shining light to them and be like, look, you can make it. You can persevere. You can smile through the bad, because every day may be your last. Every day might be my last now. But to always be happy, even though it hurts, even though the doctors want to poke and prod at you and make sure that you're meeting their levels and being on track. That you can be happy through it all. And that your determination should not be stomped out just because you have the C word. So, that's my origin story. The next part that we're looking at, I'm going to put between about 5 and 10 years old. There's not a whole lot of major things, but it's the start of a journey. A scary journey. When we get into the preteens, teenage years, young adult, I may not have a whole lot of people after that are interested in watching. I may not have the same look from my pastor. I may not have the same look from my closest friends. I may not have the same look from people who put me on a pedestal because Brittany's a miracle child. She can do no wrong. No, Brittany is human. Brittany has made a lot of choices. And Brittany wants to be better. I need to adapt and learn and encourage. And whether or not you see it that way due to my choices, fine. But it's going to be a good journey. And like I said, I want to open this up for conversation. I want to have deeper meaning discussions. Because we just go on about our day sometimes and don't really understand what a person's gone through. So let's change it. This is where you find your courage. This is where I found my voice. And I can't thank the pastors in my life over the last 30 days who have brought this to me. I can't thank God enough for the signs that if I don't do this, I'm going to regret. If I don't speak out for the hurting and for the unloved, then I'm not fulfilling my purpose. Side note, if you don't want to hear about religion, you don't want to hear about God, you don't want to hear about Christianity, you could care less, you probably don't want to go any further. You probably got your fill and you're all done. But it's my journey. And here's to hoping that you want to take it with me. I love you guys. And I should have another video up probably next Wednesday, if not before. Or next Monday, if not before. Keep your fingers crossed that schedules work out. But thanks for tuning in. And I'm sorry it was a 20-minute video. I was only planning to make it like 10. Sorry. Love you guys. Be strong. Be encouraging. And be loved.